What's up guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Divine. I'm a musical choir, minominak, drummer and a keyboardist. I have been for many years. I started making these videos as a space for music lovers like myself to check out our favorite artists and break down some of our findings that make them so fantastic. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Perseverance Reaction in order to recommend your favorite singers for us to react to. Hey, you killed it. What's up YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today guys, we're back here to the video guys. Today I'm here with an amazing guest. Amazing. She's a singer and also a choir vocal coach. So today she's going to be reacting to Jordan Peterson, most savage comeback. And she don't know about Peterson, so that's what makes me more happy because I have a lot of questions for her while watching this. So this is gonna be our first time checking this out, and let's give this a try, guys. You know how I do it. We talk less, we write down, we react small. Let's get into this video.
How much responsibility do you feel that you have, particularly guys the alt-right, who, as you say, some of them have enjoyed your work and say,
no,
I'm not one of you guys. I'm not with you guys.
They haven't enjoyed my work.
I've definitely read bits on the internet.
Read more.
Do you think a trans woman is a real woman?
I don't really like the way those questions are formulated. You know, I don't know what that means. What do you mean a real woman?
Well, I'm asking you, in your mind, you know, it depends what you think a real woman is, but do you think a trans woman is a woman?
No.
Why not?
Because I think that women are capable, generally speaking, of having babies, and they have female genitalia, and they have an XX chromosome, and I think the biological markers are relevant.
I'm interested in people being...
So what do you think about it?
He's being real, but he's being savage. I feel he could put it in a nicer way.
It's, you know, the questions of it, me, I'm going to answer in the same way Peterson is answering. Yeah,
Okay,
because
yeah, savage. So.
because you said who is a real woman? Like a real woman is someone who can give birth. That's a woman. That's what makes you a woman. Different form, man.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
the lady's trying to put words in his mouth in some way for me.
Of course, you're a man, you defend him.
Okay, let's keep watching, guys.
able to have different choices and having equality of outcome.
Aha, well, so the overwhelming proportion of people who are in prisons are male. Now, do you want to equalize that, just out of curiosity? What about bricklayers? They're 99% male. And we've got about 3/4 of the population now in universities in the humanities and social sciences are female.
Yeah.
Are we going to equalize that? And men work longer hours. They work more dangerous jobs. They're more likely to move. They're more likely to work outside. They're more likely to participate in jobs in the STEM fields that are scalable. They make more money for those reasons. And that's all hidden under the idea that the reason that men and women make different amounts of money is because of their gender. It's a very simplistic analysis.
Why are you against the use of alternate pronouns?
I'm against the use of legislation to determine what words that myself and other people are required to utter.
But would you use alternate pronouns if a student asked you to?
I think I've made my position on that clear already.
Well, perhaps not to our audience at home who are just being introduced to this. Would you use alternate pronouns? And why not?
Because I don't believe that other people have the right to determine what language I use, especially when it's backed by punitive legislation. And when the words that are being required are the constructions, they're artificial constructions of people I regard as radical ideologues whose viewpoint I do not share.
Until women got full legal rights, they could own property for themselves, they could work. Essentially, they were owned. They were first owned by their fathers and then by their husbands.
Status to the domination by men.
Yeah.
You already said that you thought that what emancipated women primarily in the 20th century was technological revolution.
No, not primarily, but that's one of two. I think that's two things.
It's not primarily, eh?
No,
you don't think the pill was a primary force in the emancipation of women?
I think
or
it
the
was...
invention of tampons, let's say, or the provision of proper sanitary facilities, toilets, and that sort of thing. You're thinking instead it was the action of courageous feminists in the 1920s that produced a social revolution that overthrew the patriarchy. That's your theory.
Yeah, I think...
That's a foolish theory.
I shocked her.
Does he know he's on TV?
Yeah. I support him. No. Aside him being a man. Like the lady over there, if you are to watch the long speech, she's trying to make him feel like women are not being treated well.
Okay.
But he's like, they are all treated well. She's like, most majority of men dominate the world more than
Yeah.
women. So he's like, her theory is not valid
It's
enough.
not. Yeah, it's not solid.
Yeah.
That I can agree.
Yeah.
But there's a but.
Yeah, but he's a savage.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying just sugarcoat the truth, but there are nicer ways of saying some things, you know. Like,
but that's the best way. For me, he's not very savage like that. If you didn't point it clear like that, there is no way you avoid to be savage in such scenario because he's trying to make a valid point.
okay.
So any way he try to answer her, he's going to
Still come
very
back
bad.
to that point.
Yeah,
Huh.
because she has gotten a picture in her head like men are paid more than women. But if you observe, men take more risks than women in that job. Besides, let me say bricklayers.
It depends on the field.
True.
So-
But there are some job that ladies will not do that men are doing. You see?
I beg to differ on that.
Tell me how.
A bricklayer.
Mm-hmm.
There's no written law somewhere that says a bricklayer is supposed to be a male.
True.
But when it comes to strength here,
Mm-hmm.
it's seen that men are more stronger than
True.
female. Why then would I be doing that? If my strength will fail me, at a given point
Okay.
in time. So it's not about taking a risk. It's about the things that govern the reason why I can't do that.
No, if people are saying we are all equal.
Yeah,
Equal.
okay, that's the equality, gender equality here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if to be most men are the ones who are doing this hard labor, majority of people in the war front are men. Let's use Ukraine for instance.
Okay.
People who died in the war,
Yeah.
the majority are men. You hardly see those gender equality standing out and saying, why are these soldiers being paid like this? Why are we all not paid like this?
Yeah.
It makes no sense because they're the one who are risking their life to save
Okay.
the country. You see?
I get you, but it's still a but.
Shouldn't talk to her that rudely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a woman, you support her.
Ha ha ha! Using my words against me. Okay.
Let's keep watching, guys. So I think this ladies came to do a protest right on stage.
He's a professor.
That's pure
He's a professor.
Yeah, he's a professor. He's a
Okay.
professor.
narcissism at work, by the way. You know, to hijack an event like this that other people put time and effort into, and to use their civility of the crowd and the civility of the organizers as an excuse to blatantly yell out your ill-informed opinions is no way to conduct a civil dialogue. It's absolutely appalling. The people who do that should be embarrassed.
My idea of the patriarchy is a system of male dominance of society.
Yeah, but that's not my sense of the patriarchy.
So
because-
what's yours?
Well, in what sense is our society male-dominated?
The fact that the vast majority of wealth is owned by men, the vast majority of capital is owned by men. Women do more unpaid
It's a
labour.
very tiny proportion of men, and a huge proportion of people who are seriously disaffected are men. Most people in prison are men. Most people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who die in wars are men. People who do worse in school are men. It's like, where's the dominance here precisely? What you're doing is you're taking a tiny substrata of hyper successful men and using that to represent the entire structure of Western society. There's nothing about that that's vaguely appropriate.
But I could say equally well that most rape victims are women. You know, terrible things happen to people of both sexes.
And you could say that with perfect utility, but that doesn't provide any evidence for the existence of a male-dominated patriarchy.
I would say that anybody with more than a cursory knowledge of 20th century history who dares to claim simultaneously that they have compassion for the downtrodden and that they're Marxists are revealing either an ignorance of history that's so astounding that it's actually a form of miracle, or a kind of malevolence that's so reprehensible that it's almost unspeakable. Because we already ran the equity experiment over the course of the 20th century, and we already know what the Marxist doctrines have done for oppressed people all around the world, and the answer to that mostly was imprison them, enslave them, work them to death, or execute them. And as far as I can tell, that's not precisely commensurate with any message of compassion. Sorry, tried that, didn't work. We got 100 million corpses to prove it, and that's plenty for me. And if it's not enough for you, well then you should do some serious thinking either about your historical knowledge or about your moral character.
Question for Professor Peterson. Why do you feel that someone's personal gender identity and pronouns infringes your free speech? Can one not also argue, based on your interpretation, that professors can use racial slurs in their classroom and that the inability to do so would violate their freedom of speech?
There's a difference between saying that there's something you can't say and saying that there are things that you have to say. And I regard these made-up pronouns, all of them, as the neologisms of radical PC authoritarians. Do you understand that? And I'm not a fan of that sort of person. And the reason I'm not a fan of that sort of person is because I've done my homework. I've read everything I can get my hands on in the development of authoritarian political systems, and I know the literature inside out and backwards. And I am not going to be a mouthpiece for language that I detest. And that's that.
This whole patriarchy thing, I think you have no idea how pernicious and dangerous it is.
Well, no, I don't. I really don't. Go on.
Throughout history have fundamentally cooperated to push back against the absolute catastrophe of existence, a terrible death rate, the probability of chronic starvation, early death, disease, the difficulty of raising children with all the death that was associated with that, and to look backwards in time and say, well, basically what happened was men took the upper hand and persecuted women in this tyrannical patriarchies. It's absolutely dreadful misreading of history. It's a terrible thing to teach young women, and it's a horrible thing to inflict upon men.
When the Marxists say, well, that wasn't real Marxism, what it really means, and I've thought about this for a long time, it's the most arrogant possible statement anyone could ever make. It means, if I would have been in Stalin's position, I would have ushered in the damn utopia instead of the genocidal massacres, because I understand the doctrine of Marxism and everything about me is good. It's like, well, think again, sunshine. You don't understand it. You don't understand it. And you're not that good. And if the power was in your hands, assuming you had the competence, which you don't, you wouldn't have done any better. And even if you had, there would have been someone else waiting right behind you to shoot you the first time you actually tried to do anything good. And that's what happened to all the old guard who ran the damn revolution. Stalin rounded them all up and shot them, along with their families and millions of other people. So even if you do happen to be that avatar of moral purity that you claim implicitly, the probability that you'd get to act out your goodness in relationship to those possessed by your ideology is zero.
Is being sensitive to offence such a problem, though? Like, we would have previously called that manners.
It's a terrible problem. So imagine you, okay, so the rule is you can't offend anyone, all right? Let's say you're speaking to one person, I can't offend you. All right, fair enough. What if I'm speaking to 10 people? Do I get to offend 1 in 10? How about 1 in 100? How about 1 in 1,000? You're going to come out on stage and you're going to say something important about something vital, and you're not going to offend 1 person in 1,000? Well, you can't say anything about anything important ever without offending people. Probably the person you're talking to. Important speech about important issues, especially contentious issues, is instantly offensive.
So you only agree to the last one, not...
No. I did agree to a couple of things he said.
Okay.
Feminism is a talk now.
Yeah, big topic. Very, very big topic.
It's what's happening now.
Yeah.
It's, let's fight for our rights. I'm a feminist. Everything should be. But we need to look at the realities of the world.
Mm.
You understand? I do agree with him at some points, but in some cases, okay, it's life. You can't theorize everything. It has to be practical. You are reading, you know the book back and front. Fine, nobody disagrees with that. But you have to look at some things in some, I don't know, in some light. It's what will help you to understand things. I do get him. But in certain points, what you think you've read, or what you think you know, might not be what is happening at a point in time. Women, we are all about, we think we should be, even with this grade, let's use school for example, with some courses, okay, it's a grade lower for women to enter than men. Let's say if I have a 15, I'm a lady, I can do computer science. I don't know the cutoff, I'm just saying. But for a guy, it should be 13.
I mean, women are more smarter than guys.
No, they're giving women more opportunities
than guys.
Yes, that I would agree to it when it comes to, that, because we are all claiming for the equality thing. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But in some other states, with an example he made earlier, I guess the woman was trying to put words in his mouth, like he said earlier on. But look at the job world. I'm not saying women can't make wealth, but in higher places, men are given the opportunity to become bosses as to women. True or false?
It's very true.
No, true. Not good. When it happens like that, how do you expect me to make wealth in competition with a man at the top?
You know, eh? Let's put it like this. It's not how we are seeing it. Like, men are not actually dominating the way they're saying it.
They are.
So women want to be, let me say, more in political ways.
We should be given an opportunity.
You guys are given an opportunity. No one is telling you not to do something.
Okay, but why don't we get... How many female presidents do you see?
Interest. See, I don't think ladies or women have more interest in that. Because let me say, you guys, that's why you guys are women. You see, when you start nursing children,
time.
You put more efforts into the children than your business or things like that.
With what you're saying, then there shouldn't be an argument here.
But that does not mean they are not giving you guys opportunities. You see, that's why some women, they'll be like, they're career based.
We have career based women.
Those ladies who end up focusing on their career more than building their life itself, they end up being sad day after. Like years after, they end up with a cat and die miserable. No, that is true. But if, as a woman, it's not like that dominating you, is how nature placed you guys to be. You see, if to be men are the ones who are able to like give birth to a child, women will dominate more. Taking care of a child, I know both gender take care of the child, but women tend on taking care of the child more. It's a full-time job. You see? Then adding your normal work to it, it's frustrating. So that's why most men go out to labor for the families. Most women, if you ask them, you say, do you want to be a full stay-at-home mom? They will want to accept.
No.
As long as the guy is providing and taking care of them.
Still. Because it still comes with difficulties, still comes with too many things following that stay-home mom thing. He is doing well to provide. But what if he can't today. What do I do?
That's true.
So the idea of stay-at-home moms, no. But some men who don't like the idea of their women working.
Yeah, I feel like they're really stressing themselves.
It's not stressing. They just don't want the women to be better than them.
No, that's not how it is. No. Yeah.
Some people, I don't mean generally, but some people do.
Let's say, for instance, now, a woman who is married.
Okay.
She have given birth to one. You see, and she also have a high-paying job. Both stress, the child and a job. Then she go back home later on. She's cooked. Okay, she's cooked. She'll be tired, for sure. She'll be tired. Then later on in the night, she don't have time to want to make love with her husband. Things like that start bringing issues. You see, the man himself will not see it that way. The man provide for the family, one. The woman also provide. But the man sees it as a way like it's his duty to provide for his family, not the woman's duty, even if she's supporting. But it should not be a responsibility for her. If she's the one providing, means there's no use of him. So that's why when he gets home and he wants to have sex with his wife, though his wife is already tired of taking care of the child and also her job too, he won't see it that way, but it will be like, with time we'll start getting frustrated. So it's both ways. It's how nature please you guys to be. It's not like men don't want you guys to work or work hard or be better that day, but it's how life is.
Rest my case.
Guys, comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up, share this video to as many as you can, subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. You know how it is. We'll see you guys in our next video. Make sure you stay safe.
I just want a bag, like an old lady. I'm backwoods smoking, I don't own papers, pass that 808. That don't shake her. Oh, bitch, you know I'm grinding like a pro skater. Baby mama bugging, I'm so quick to hit ignore. Buku bitch in my bed, I got scales all